What is up, risk takers? Welcome to the Kill Pete strategy. I am Pete, and today I am playing with a bunch of Grandmasters from the Discord. So we were chatting with Bigdog, and Buck asked me to record the game, and this apparently is Bigdog's favorite map. So 2209 it is. 6-player progressive. And we have two of the mods. We have Harmless and Stove as well playing with us. So we have some very good players. Let's take a look at everyone. I'm in the second last position, so I'll just do a little scout on what everyone's stats are at the moment. This is mostly Harmless, top 50 player, 1,000 hours in the game, almost 3/4 win rate, and aka Stovetopped, top 10 player, a lot of games played. In the third position, we have Bigdog, and Bigdog is also verified as top 100, more evenly split win-loss record. Then we have Duncan, who I've chatted with, and I'm sure he'll be happy to see himself on my channel. And in the last position, I'm not sure if I've ever played against Stel, so very high play friends rate though, so they're doing a bunch more personal games. I think I'm going to take my European position, expand from that. One of the things I've noticed about the snowball strategy for 2209 is it doesn't work against better players. They tend to be able to keep you in check, so it makes a lot more sense to just take play more conservatively and take. It looks like I'm going to be natural enemies with Harmless as well, which I don't really want. I never want to be in a situation. And Stove is working South America. Okay. 17. So he's trying to snowball. And if he's trying to snowball, then I should be trying to snowball. Here's what I think I'm going to do. I think I'm going to put one troop there and take France. I'm going to put the other troops here and push this way. I'm not going to move into the Northern European continent. I'm going to let mostly Harmless take that. And we'll see if we can have a quid pro quo thing going on. If I don't invade him in Northern Europe, he doesn't invade me in mainland Europe. These are the continent breakdown. We have a 4 and a 4. The 2 halves of North America. 4 Northern Europe, mainland Europe, Western Asia, Russia, each worth 7. South America also worth 7. Nice big continent. 2 halves Africa, each worth 6. Oceania worth 5. And Eastern Asia, which you're never going to hold, is worth 9. Looks like Bigdog is occupying the entire west coast of Africa. And Duncan is putting some troops there and gets a take in Asia. So I start my turn with 11, which sucks because I'm just under the threshold of starting my turn with extra troops. So who's in the lead? Stove has 17 territories. I want to get a couple more just so that I'm not totally falling behind in terms of troops, but it looks like that's about as far as I can push it. Do I consolidate or not is the question. I think the answer is no. I think I put my troops there. So I have striking positions out of both ends of Europe. But I didn't work into mostly Harmless's piece in the north. And finally, in the last position, we have Stel, who did start with 12, so I get 4, plus the additional 3 for going last. I see being at the end of the matching sequence in progressive as a bit of an advantage. Because you start with extra troops and you also get larger matches. Okay, he gets 1 take and I think holds, which is fine in theory. Has more potential energy. Okay, Harmless starts with 4 extra troops, moves to take Northern Europe, I guess. Let's see if he does. No, moves to block. Has an exclave that he's maintaining. Slow claim to Northern Europe. And he wants to work on Stove a little bit so Stove doesn't snowball out of control. Also, aka Stovetop starting with 4 troops. Trying to predict where he goes. He's been pared down quite a bit. That 17 was scaring people, I guess. I figure I'll start with 4 but not 5. Somebody will knock me out somewhere. On my turn, I want to go pop, pop, maybe pop into Russia. But I don't want to pull ahead too quickly because that will scare my opponents and then someone will swing into action and come into me, and I really would prefer to avoid having to fight people until the later turns. Alright, so Stove gets a piece of North America, puts his troops in Alaska, and gets a couple of takes. Sure. Gets me under 15. Still trying to snowball. And if he's still trying to snowball, I'm still trying to snowball. So Bigdog starts with 5. He was allowed to hold 15. Interesting. Bigdog now in the lead at 29 troops, puts a 6 stack in Northwest Territories, and 4 in Iran, and 4 in Africa, and gets chips on Stove. Also gets a piece of Duncan, I betcha. No. Okay, Duncan starts with 4. Could have started with 3. I'm at 14, so I'll start with an extra 4, and I'm going to go pop, pop into Russia. Depending on which way Duncan goes, and he goes that way. Perfect. Cool. So I'm going to get 2 pieces of orange. And that's all I'm going to do. Because I feel pretty good about this situation right here. I'm not actually really in anybody's way, and I have a lot of ones I can work through next turn as well. So someone have to come at me to really hurt me. The downside, though, is I'm not maintaining an exclave. Unsure about orange. I don't know what they're doing. But if they're doing that, they're far away from me, and that's fine by me. Bigdog's still in the lead at 16 territories and 27 troops, but it's pretty close. I have 25, and Orange is 26. Very close game. Looks like Stove is in the weakest position now, I think, for trying to snowball and then have it be answered. Mostly Harmless starts the third turn with 13 territories, 27 troops. I bet he finishes Northern Europe now. If he does, then I as well. If he doesn't, then I don't. So it's up to... Oh no, he's attacking Stove. This looks like a vendetta at this point. He doesn't, so I don't finish either. I'm going to go I'm going to go 1 territory away from taking Russia. And I'll start moving down into... I'll hook around, actually, through Japan. I think makes more sense. Looks like I'll start my turn with 5 troops. I would like to maintain that if at all possible. Bigdog's going to be allowed to hold 5 as well. Sure. Interesting. That changes my plan. I think I'll open up another front here and go pop, pop. Something like that. Okay, Bigdog moves into me, so now I have to stop that from happening. I can't allow a player to push their advantage on me, because that's just a losing scenario. Bigdog's going to get pared down now. So first Duncan hits him, and I'm going to hit him as well. You chose to come at me, so there you are. Gets him under 15. I'll hit that one too. Could have gone any number of directions. Chose to go at me. Have to address it. And now he doesn't start his turn with 5 troops. Probably neither will I. And that's the end of the third turn. So it looks like Orange might actually take over the Southern African continent, which probably won't be allowed to hold. Who would stop it? Mostly Harmless would stop it, if anyone. Maybe Bigdog, but less likely. Maybe Duncan, but less likely. I think Harmless would either pop him into there or hook around from either way. But let's see what Harmless does. Starts his turn with 5 troops. 30 in the lead. 30 troops. He's trying to play nice with Orange. Let Orange hold the continent, maybe. No, he breaks. He doesn't break. He does. Okay. Cool. And he can confidently take this piece of Ireland because Duncan broke that continent in the north. Stove the short stack at 17. Could go any number of places. I figure it's going to be up here, though, because I had to switch direction to deal with this. Hopefully I start my turn with 5 reinforcement. But Stove's going to punch me, as he should. Alright. One more. Okay. Let's see what Bigdog does. Because I sure don't like that. I don't like it one bit. Okay. Now I maintain an exclave. So I have 2 stacks in South America. I don't want that to just go poof. So I'm going to put just enough to keep that in existence. And I like my positioning in the old world, and I just have a little piece of the new world that will give me potentially a striking position in the future to take out my opponents when possible. The end of the 4th turn. It looks like I'm tied in the lead, with mostly Harmless just behind. Duncan and Stove under 20, and Bigdog in the middle at 23. I'm also holding the most territories, which I feel is not going to work very well for me. I think everyone's going to come at me now. So this turn is going to be bad for me. But if it isn't, then I might be able to push my advantage further. Orange reciprocates the break. Punches Harmless a couple of times. Mostly Harmless starting the 5th turn, which is the last turn of the beginning of the early game, with 31 troops and 17 territories. That's a lot of territories. What does he do with it? He's in a lot of places, which is good. It's good to have a distributed position in such a big map. Takes everywhere. Yeah, it takes a piece of my Australia, so I don't have that exclave anymore. So I really do just have these 2 positions. Okay, and Harmless is expanding in all directions, which I like because that might take the heat off of me. He has 21 territories to my 17. So that's a problem. That's 7 reinforcements. Someone's going to have to address that. Let's see who does. AKA Stovetopped passes the turn. Doesn't want to be forced to match. Doesn't want to take the 6. He would much rather have the 15. Which makes sense. Everyone else is playing to take. I'm going to take. I'll be forced to match. I will get the 4, 6, 8, 10. I still get the 10, that's fine. Unless Duncan also sits out, which I don't think he will. Yeah, good. Harmless goes to 18. If I can take one more of him, he'll start with, and I start with 5 troops. Okay. I will take one more of him. I'll take one out there with the rest of my troops here. But just get a single take. And consolidate my forces in the middle of the board. Alright, holding a match. I'm going to match in and get the 10, it looks like. Orange will get the 12, and aka Stovetopped will get the 15. I like my positioning. I am tied in the lead for troops and in the lead for territories. Going into the 6th turn. I feel like I have been able to avoid offending anybody, as is my usual style for progressive. Hide, don't piss people off, and then strike all in one and kill. Alright, Harmless starting the 6th turn matches in. It's the small match at 4. He does have multiple positions, but they're all fairly small. I feel like I'm going to lose a piece, probably all 3. Maybe 2, but possibly 3. 2 Stovetop on his turn in that corner. Harmless working the southern tip of Africa and a piece of the USA. Stove puts here, I betcha. It's a really nice empty space. You can occupy any direction. Asia is completely empty, except for him. And he lets me be strong as well. That makes me nervous. Where does Bigdog go? Bigdog gets the 6. Goes a little bit everywhere, and they're all right next to me. I don't like being natural enemies with anybody, but it doesn't look like we can avoid that fight at this point. Alright, Duncan gets the 8. Put some of it in Oz, some of it in Africa, and some of it up here. Maintaining 3 distributed positions. And he goes for that continent. No, he hits me. Hard. Cool. Okay. Well, guess what happens to people who do that? I would have assumed that he would know. He would have known by now what happens to people who do that. Okay. 3 cards. Orange gets the match on 12. Well done by Stove. He'll get the big match, and that will put him back up to parity. This board looks pretty balanced. But yeah, people do have to punch me a little bit to keep me off 21 territories. Duncan tried, but now I feel like I successfully parried that attack. I won't be able to fight a war on 2 fronts, though. So I have to accept somebody else punching into me and not reciprocate that, because I need to be mostly balanced with everybody else. Someone's going to get killed too fairly soon. Okay, Orange does retake the South African continent. No, they hold short of 1. Harmless gets 5 troops for 17 territories, 36. Orange is in the lead with 47, but I think Stove is going to bounce right back up with his big match. And it's Harmless versus Orange. In that piece of Africa, they really seem to be fighting with each other, and that's fine by me. Stove gets the big match, goes up to 39. So just off the lead. Orange has 45, which is the largest stack. I'm currently holding 21 territories, but I think that's going to change pretty soon. I shouldn't be allowed to hold 21 territories. That is a mistake. Okay, Stove gets a conservative punch on white. 39 to 34. What does Bigdog do? Bigdog's playing more of a slow game, so he's letting his troops build up, not occupying so much of the board. Puts 2 there. This is going to have to hit me somewhere. It doesn't. So we put it back to Duncan. I hope I scared him enough by parrying his attack that he doesn't put more troops up here. But it's damned if you do, damned if you don't, because I'm going to knock him out of this position on my turn anyways. I was allowed to hold 21. So I take Europe. Someone's going to break me, and that's fine. I have a 13 stack over there. I'm not expecting or trying to hold. That would just be greedy. I now have 24 territories. Somebody should deal with this. Everyone now is looking at me and like pizza problem. So fair enough. The next thing I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to knock this 7 out of the middle of me. Counterintuitively, of course, because Bigdog is trying to maintain an exclave, but it's inside my borders. This is a great game. This is developing very nicely. I'm excited to see the end game because I feel like this could fall like a house of cards, but you don't know. Okay, Harmless gets to 20. Let's see if anyone else matches early because that could be a key factor. I do have a match. Match point is 25. If Bigdog or Duncan or both match in before me, then my match will be worth substantially more. But I think even if they don't, it behooves me to put it in on this turn. Okay, Harmless at 56 troops with 1 card remaining and 16 territories. If Duncan doesn't have a match on 4, he's the fish. Because I could probably knock that 1 off. That's set up. I'd hook around that way. Something like that. How do I kill? I'm trying to do the math on how to kill magenta. Okay. Lots of thinking, not a lot of action. What does Stove do? Can I kill magenta and take their 5 cards if they don't match? Can I kill red? No. It's much easier for me to kill. It's probably not possible for me to kill red. How would I kill magenta? So I use the 13 to knock that off. I put my troops here. I go 1, 2, cut across, and then cut down. No, because that's still in the way. I don't think I can kill magenta. Okay, and I lose those 2 now. Sure. Stove playing very slow and conservatively, and we're equalized at 40 troops apiece. He's holding 4 cards. I'm going to have to match in before him. Let's see if Bigdog puts in a match. He's going to break me here. He has to. I wouldn't let me hold that. Okay, Duncan lose a piece of Africa. Still in a couple of places. Duncan puts in, gets a 25, which means I get the 30. Bigdog holding 5 cards. Can I kill? Is it possible? Yeah, I think it is. No, it's so close, right? Too bad. So I'll put armies at both ends of my borders. And take another continent. Saying, hey guys, y'all gonna deal with this? You probably should. I like that. I like that structure a lot. Now in the lead at 86 troops and 23 territories. Orange is also being allowed to hold a continent. Does he put in the match on 4? Thinking. Everyone's still alive in this game. The matches matter a lot. The sequencing. Bigdog's going to hold 5 on his turn unless Stove can get him. And Stove would be the one to do it. But how does he get this 7, right? He's going to hook around. Go in there. I think Stove could kill Bigdog and get those 5 cards. Too much thinking on your turn, guys. Play it. Or did Orange drop? Orange bot. Okay. We now have a bot in this game. Harmless going to do something, and I predict Stove kills Bigdog. Unless he doesn't have a match on 4. Yep, match on 4. Going for red. Yes. Yes. Got him. Well played. Good game, Bigdog. Five cards. Stove's in the lead. We got to do something about this, guys. Puts a match in. 97 troops, 29 territories. Strong lead. And he will be holding 4 cards at the end of his turn. So what I'm going to do on my turn is I'm going to punch Stove fairly moderately, but in the interior of myself. So it looks both like I'm retaking stuff that I lost, because I am, and also I'm doing my part. I can't beat this guy on my own. So we kind of need the table to agree at this point. I'm going to go all the way. Oh, and he breaks me there. Yep, respect. Understood. That makes sense. Okay, I'm going to go like this. That's my move. Let's see what Duncan does. Holding 2 cards. Nobody can afford to overextend. We have a bot with 4, so it actually might be smarter for me to try to set myself up to kill that bot. Duncan does a chip take in North America. Okay, I can't worry about that. That's going to be a problem for future Pete. So I'm just going to retake a little bit of the material that I lost. And I'm going to point my army like that. I'm going to point my other army like this. have somewhat of a defensible structure around Europe. Do not have a match on 3. Looks like Stove's going to win this game. It looks like he's going to spiral out of control and eat someone else on his next turn and then become undefeatable. Bot didn't match in on 4. Bot is holding 5 cards. Whoever can kill this bot will win this game for sure. Can Harmless do it? I don't think so. I think Stove can, and I think Stove... Oh! Harmless has a match. Okay, now we're talking. Does he go for the bot? Yep. He does. Does he succeed? I think so. I think there's this piece to worry about. Okay, that's 1. That's 2. That's 3. Well played. So this might be a Stovetop versus Harmless endgame. Because I don't have a match on 3, I might fall by the wayside. Oh no! He didn't get it. So Stove has been gifted this game. Too bad. Way to go, Stove. This turn is going to be explosive. Good game! Doesn't even have to match it. You can just run into orange and get the double match. Whew! Yep. And here we go. Magenta would be next on the chopping block. But I don't think it matters. I think he gets everybody. I think it is a foregone conclusion at this point. If by some reason I survive into my turn, the only logical play is to reef into Stove as hard as I can. He's not going for Duncan. Can I pay that off? Took out a piece, though. If Duncan doesn't have a match on 3, maybe I can get him. See if it's possible. Yep, that all makes perfect sense. And he gets my 25 too. He should have. I think he ran out of time. Duncan does have a match on 3. Okay, I definitely lose. What does he do with that? Does he push into Stove as hard as he can? Because that will somewhat rebalance the game. Yeah, I have to do the same. I'm going to spread out as far and wide as I possibly can. Use the clock to my advantage so that it will be hard for any one of my opponents to kill me. And obviously we put ourselves in a position to mainly push into Stove just because he was occupying the most territory. And Harmless starts their turn. No one else has a match. I'm likely to match on 4, but I don't have one. So it looks like I'm the fish. And Stove will be able to kill me on his turn, I'm pretty sure. And then secure the victory. So I come 3rd. Not having a match on 4 is lethal in the endgame of a progressive cards. With reasonably good opponents, or in this case, very, very good opponents. GG, Stove. Well done. Kill me. Doesn't look like he's going for me, though. He's going for territory. Okay. I'm still alive. I don't have a match on 4. I'm still dead, just not right now. Oh, he punches me that way? Sure. Sure. Might as well. There's no way I can reciprocate this attack. There's no way I can not get eaten by now somebody else because I won't have a match on 4, but he didn't know that. Duncan eats me. Match is in. Seems like a miss, though, because why would you feed me to magenta? That's fine. Went a little hard to my eye. Maybe Duncan has tunnel vision and isn't going to kill me, but he probably should. Please see the kill, Duncan. Kill me. Don't miss. Yeah, he's going to do it. He's just using up his clock. Risky, though. Now we're starting to get close. Yeah, and GG. That was great. That was a great game. Don't know why Stove would have set that up, though. That seems like a bit too risky. Maybe the kill Pete strategy needed to be enacted, right? I'm too dangerous to be left alive. But now Duncan has a board position. Can Duncan kill Harmless? If Harmless gets a take, it'll be 3 cards. Stove is guaranteed to match on 5, and then if he eats Harmless, it'll be another match. I think that's the win. I think Stove was already unbeatable. But Duncan's going to push into him pretty hard. That's fine. Stove needs to eat Harmless. So Harmless could not get a card, and that would screw up that plan. I'm pretty sure he's still playing to win, even though he's in the distant third at this point. Doesn't get a card, okay. So his idea of playing to win is not being eaten right now. Interesting. So Stove matches him with a 70. Does he equalize Magenta? Yes. He's going to punch Magenta really hard. Or maybe he eats Harmless anyways. Just to get one more person out of the game. We have a 3-player endgame scenario now where it's possible that everyone can stay in balance, but because Harmless didn't get a card, he won't match. So it's very unlikely that he can survive. So therefore Stove isn't even worrying about him, and he is taking out Duncan instead. Duncan unlikely to have a match on 3. So Stove is securing his victory in that way. Okay, can Duncan kill Harmless? That would trigger a match. Okay. Duncan could win. Kills Harmless right now. And just like that, Stove goes from being almost assured victory to, I think, possibly losing. I think this is Duncan's game. Cool. The match point is 60? 70? Something ridiculous? 75 troops. Well, 2 players left. And take the whole middle. Awesome. Awesome to see. I don't think it's over yet. Betcha Stove's got a match on 3. Let's see this game continue. I want to see a really exciting final. Almost gets him, but not quite. Doesn't have the clock. Does have the troops, though. But there's no path here. Italy, while it looks like it connects to North Africa, it does not, in fact, connect. Italy and Algeria, they're called. It looks like they do, but word to the wise, be very careful, because that is not a connection point. Stove does not have a match on 3. He loses. Good game. Well played, Duncan. I'm going to tag everybody and post the video in Discord because this was a great game. And I hope you all enjoyed. I think he's getting tricked by thinking that that's a connection. So he fucked up. He fucked up, yeah. Stove could win now. Oops. And you see, he thinks that connects, but it doesn't. Yep. Oops. Sucks. Well, you know Stove's got a match on 4, so let's see it. Too bad. Stove now takes the entire board and leaves this. So now we have a balanced end game. So this is going to be a bunch of parrying attacks for a couple of turns until someone can get a double match, right? A match on 5 and then a match on 3, something like that. Or maybe speed matters. But these guys look to be of equivalent speed. So that's not as much of an issue. Stove's going to take most of the board right now. Duncan's going to reciprocate that on his turn. Hopefully it doesn't get clogged up in a connection problem. Duncan has a match as well, though. So here's where you start to wonder about the disappearing stack glitch, right? I haven't had it happen to me personally, but I've seen it happen a ton. So I don't want to be in a situation where I lose my big stack. So I would have split my armies. I would have had 2 larger armies in different places. You gotta go fast, Duncan. You gotta punch, 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 punch right now. Hook through Australia. Yeah. Yeah, I like it. Keep going. You got this. Stove won't have a match on 2. Stove won't be holding most of the board. I think it's Duncan's game again, but Duncan, you gotta break both North American continents and Russia. You don't have time. Hook across. Yes, yes. They'll break 1 but not 2. Break, break. You need to break those continents. Break, break, break the other. Yes, got it. Okay. Pretty sure Duncan wins this game. Cool. And I think Stove yields now that he has lost. Just cuts out of his exclave. Tries to break as many continents as he can, and he succeeds in breaking all but 1. All but 1. I suspect it's too little too late, but let's see if Duncan can click fast enough to finish this board. So he's got to deploy in 3 separate regions. He's got this region, goes from here to Hawaii. He's got the South American pod where his big arm is in, and then he's the Atlantic pod. Don't think he can finish this turn. So if Stove's lucky, he's still alive with a match on 3. And that's what this game will come down to. Is who has a match on 3. 2 out of the 3 pods will still exist. No, now we have 4. Now we actually have 4 different pods. So 1, 2, and 3. We'll finish this one off. Move his big army maybe here, maybe there. Something that nothing connects to both. Okay. Got a match on 3. No match on 3. That's the game. So it breaks continents, but it's too little too late. The game ends next turn. But good breaks. He's forcing Duncan to do a bunch of splits, and that's not the right place to put your troops. That's bad pathing. You need to put your troops at the end of the run, not the middle. There are only 3 pods. You don't need 4 positions. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Got it. Still got it. Gotta go fast, though. There's also a screwy little intersection up here. Do the split. He's gonna run out of time. Get him. And good game. All right. Well played, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was entertaining. Let's be friends. Let's also be friends if you'd like. And until next time, for all of you on the path to world domination, good games and good luck.